That one has a chance. If it can beat that tree trunk and skip. Welcome back to Vlogmas Day 7. Today, we find ourselves at Zilker Park, right in the heart of Austin, one of the most played courses in Texas. And we've had this fog plaguing us for the last 24 hours plus in this area. So didn't really want to go out to Bastrop, play the courses that we had planned that have rubber and earthen tees at the two of them respectively. So we came out to Zilker because in my mind, it's one of the best rain courses around in Austin, not only because of the big, flat, level tees, but also because there's some decently established grass in the fairways where even in the wintertime, you won't muck it up too much playing out here, so it can handle a little bit of traffic even on a nasty day like today. So yeah, I just wanted to showcase to you guys what I think is one of the better options on those gloomier days in the wintertime here in Austin. We're rocking that same shoulder bag, but I made a couple swaps here and there to have it Zilker ready. And we put the faiths back in the bag because I've been loving throwing them. And yeah, the Spore was cute and all, but a nice seasoned faith for the 245-foot hole one at Zilker seems foolproof to me. A little bit of wind out of the north off the right side. Obviously forehand's wide open for you. Backhand just has these initial trees off the tee to beat. But you ain't worried about it when you're throwing that little baby turnover. Oh my gosh, look at that. Beautiful flight. Slid up pretty close and we got a putt. Whoa, squeaked it over the rim in that right to left wind. Was a little bit short there. Definitely shorter than I'd like to be on a hole as short as hole one in Zilker, but reminds me that I gotta put a little more oomph on it, especially with the depth of the faith. Savagery. Well, unfortunately, people have tracked their mud onto the throwing portion of this tee box. So this one's gonna be a little bit of an ice skating rink. I guess, you know, as much traffic as Zilker gets, it's starting to add up. Tailwind here, going with that same faith. Play the left to right shot. A little more punch on that. Tried to slide up those cedar rails. Shimmied back down. It was kind of like a little skate park trick, you know, getting funky with it. While it's always fun to throw a mixture of discs and learn new discs, I think when you're trying to play your best round, which I'm definitely trying to do today, if you can find that rhythm, hole 1 and 2 shape just about the same, I can throw that same disc. I can find some corrections amongst that disc or find the rhythm of throwing it correctly maybe on those 2 in a row, and then I got the fire going into the course. So as many times as you can repeat the same disc throughout a course, and especially if it's a disc that's comfortable for you, it's going to be good for your game plan. If you haven't played Zilker in a few years, you might not recognize this. This is a newer hole 3 that got put in I think about 2 years ago. I really like this one. 244 feet, about the same range as the first 2. Also has that slight left to right moving shape, but this time you have to hit a narrow gap the whole way. You can see the basket between those 2 oaks over there on the right that kind of frame the end of the gap on the right side. And then you have a cluster of 2 oaks in the middle that really forces you to either play that right hand forehand on the left side of them, trying to skip back before the back wall, or take a backhand that turns in front of those 2 trees in the middle, have it hold just gently to the right. There's also kind of this fake gap on the left, but you got to go up the middle to put it close here. Watt are you throwing? I'm throwing Watt. I think it's going to work well for this shot. Just play it flat at those 2 trees in the middle. The disc should naturally break to the right for me. Oh, I missed left. But we got a little bit of slide up. Didn't really have a lot of trust. These 2 new tees on the new 3 and 4 are actually like a different concrete blend, and they're a little bit slipperier. Didn't slip right there, so I should have just trusted it, but I didn't. Found ourselves in circle 2 here. A little too flat on it. We don't condone, what do you call that? Graffiti. Hole number 4 features another narrow gap. These are probably the 2 tightest gaps on the entire course. 311 feet, slightly down the hill that we just played up. A lot of room once you're past this initial first half of the fairway, but you really got to beat that leaning tree in the middle. I'm going with that color shift zone. Pop it low and flat, and hopefully I can get a little bit of left edge and skip back in that green grass. Oh no. A little early, a little high, and I caught the kind of dead branch left on that one guy, so we got to scramble now. The great thing about leveling up with that care package from OTB Discs yesterday is now I have all these options tossed in the rubber blend zone for shots like this, where I want to throw a zone, but I want that sticky ground play. A little bit left, but it flattened out. Gave me a putt inside the circle for a safe chance. Oh, a little right, but that's steady, has a good stability to it. Hole 5, you can just see the tops of the big skyscrapers downtown Austin. Pretty cool vista here. Almost veiled by the mist. Little bush tunnel that you can just throw over the top of here, but it forces you to play a little bit more of a nose up shot, so I like to go understable on this shot. Orange dreamsicle. Man, I've always wanted to ace this hole. That's gonna turn quite a bit too much. Headwind kind of got to me there, or the left to right, I guess that's out there from the north. We got a putt though, we'll knock it down. We found one of the hairier spots on a decently guarded green. Oh, right again. Figuring out kind of the angle that I need to release the steady at right now. It seems to like a nice flat release. So I just gotta figure out my aim point here. Start knocking down birdies. Hole 6 is actually the site of my first ever ace in disc golf. I threw an Innova Champion Max in a similarly strong wind out there to the left. Spiked it down in, so in memory of that, I'm gonna go with this Captain's Raptor. Shout out to the captain at OTB, my guy Danny, for hooking up the box. Don't forget, code Connor is gonna get you free shipping on any of your OTB discs that you purchase. I've heard good things about the cap wrap. It's supposed to be beefy. Let's check it out. Only 245 here, but I like to spike it in with something pretty stable. Now I need to get lucky through the tree canopy. Oh, didn't happen this time. You kind of got to throw it up, get a little bit lucky if you want to ace it without the skip. That was online, just didn't get through the branches. I'm gonna go one more turnover faith, because that's always a lot of fun here. Oh, this might be the line actually though, because it gets down below. That's gonna be parked. Should have thrown the faith, dang. Hit this last low branch on the oak. That guards the basket. Really, you need to come in right below it though, so I need to remember that next time I'm trying to ace here. Pretty strong little headwind. Oh, it was left, but it stayed steady, kept it in the air, and we got our birdie here on hole 6. This is where that beat up faith landed. Slid right past it. Beautiful line. Go ahead, get your faith. Hit me up. In the description below is going to be the ways that you can get one of these faiths, the red or the pink options from the 2022 Tour Series. Run it over with your car. It'll be flippy. It'll be beautiful. Big city living, that's right. Hole 7 has always been one of my favorites out at Zilker. One of the holes out here where having a lot of power is going to set you apart on a course where you don't really need a lot of power. You can play the straight shot at it, out of bounds road on your right. Sometimes you play that service road crossing in front as out of bounds as well, which I like to do. I do love the straight shot here, but it's just a lot harder than throwing a spike hyzer with your distance driver. I'm going Cloudbreaker, Kobe Bryant. Just make sure to put it up high over those 2 oak trees across the road. Let it fade back in that northern wind. Watch out. Zoom in on the basket, babe. Oh crap. I bombed it a little bit deep there, y'all. It's a little long right. Kobe Bryant's got a little stretch on him. Ready to make some moves, but I gotta remember that next time. Gotta utilize the kneeling stance under these little Yopon hollies here. How did I hit the band and the chains? That makes no sense at all. Didn't think it was possible. A little too much want on that. I always want to get hole 7. Guess not today. Hole 8 is 281 feet. Dead straight, thick woods on your left, at least thick for Zilker. Sparing trees on the right as you get closer. There used to be this leaning juniper that was a great feature on this hole. It has sadly died and is now just a little log on the ground, but at least it stopped you from sliding up if you're not directly in line with the basket, so still providing a little bit of challenge. Right to left wind, I'm gonna throw that glow watt. This stuff glows so nice. Every time I put it back in the bag, even during daylight, I see it lighten up. All right, watt's pretty straight, so I'm going fan grip, a little bit of hyzer, let it stand up. Yeah, that disc is really neutral. Wants to find its way to the right. Apparently these misty baskets just absolutely hate me. That's 2 strokes lost to just straight slide throughs in the last 2 days. Well, it should be 4 down through 8, but instead I'm only 3 down. Pretty salty. I mean, the front 9 is a little bit harder than it used to be with the new 3 and 4. So it plays a little more balanced to the back 9, where it used to be kind of a birdie race on the front. Back gets a little harder. But now it's a decently balanced course. Hole 9, Zilker. The infamously probably most aced hole in Texas. Not only from players playing their round, but just throwing shots here to warm up before their round on hole 1 over there. Hole 9, 188 feet, road long, nothing else to be concerned of other than what is the wind direction. This is one of these faces that you guys can get exclusively from myself. Check it out. A little soft and hyzered there, but you can see how nicely it nestled on the ground. Definitely going to throw at least 2 shots at this one, though. You got to try to ace it. I did hit the band with that faith in warm-ups, but see if we can throw the flippy one right. If the basket was like a million feet high, maybe. I don't know why I played that so flippy. All right, one more. We'll go with the watt. See if we can beeline it to the basket. Nah, I'm just going for birdies, you know. I got room to climb. What do you say? What? How did that thing end up the closest? It was the worst shot by far. Disc golf. All right, you guys, we got a good little idea. Comment below how many times you think it would take me if I come here with a stack of faiths. How many times does it take me to ace from tee to basket? If you guess correctly in the comments below, when I do that reel, you're gonna be getting one of the faiths yourself shipped to you. So it'll be a fun way to give you guys something to guess towards, and should be a cool little reel. I'll probably get it on the first try, so if you're smart, you'll be commenting on 1 right now. Starting off the back 9 with the hardest hole on Zilker. 367 feet, right where those gentlemen are picking up their disc. Straight ahead. Low ceiling created initially off the tee by this leaning oak, as well as these next 2 oak trees out there in the fairway. A little bit of wind off the right here. I like a fairway driver shot because of the low ceiling here. I'm gonna go with that Crave with the OTB Open stamp. Way too high. It was flipping up on a good line. Got myself down there for chip in range though. See if we can knock it down. I'm gonna try to chip it in. Cheeky little Annie, top shelf with the beat up faith. Oh, almost hit that little window I was going for. Left myself a testy putt. The fact my guys, Scotty T and Ethan Cole, the homies. That was a way worse putt than my putt on hole 8 that slid right through the basket, so I don't understand this game sometimes. Anytime I'm on the tee of hole 11, I always kind of reminisce on the times where I was just getting started playing and I threw a hyzer over these crepe myrtles onto the road over there, and I'm all worried about like, oh no, don't want to throw onto the road and stuff. And not only is that a good lesson just to focus on where you want it to go, not where you don't want it to go, because your body will just throw wherever you're focused on. It doesn't know do or don't. But it's always fun to see the little steps of improvement you've taken over time. Under the oak tree, low ceiling. I'm going Captain's Raptor because I want the jump to try to make the ace. Hit the tree! Holy crap. That thing's a little more stable than I gave it credit for there. And it skipped way right of the basket. I'm gonna try one more at the zone, because that was my first thought. But then I was like, no, I want to ace it with the cap rat. We'll go with that rubber blend zone. Probably a better tournament choice here. And that's gonna be in the basket. Why did I not throw my first answer to the test, y'all? Come on. Another par, time to dial it in. Gotta give myself a little bit of leeway learning some new discs though, you know. You can't instantly know how they fly even if you see the shape. You gotta throw them to learn them. Hole 12, par 3, slightly uphill at 260 feet. It's gonna throw maybe more like 285 or so. This nice split oak in the middle where you can see the basket just through the V there is gonna be your main obstacle to choose a side on. And you kind of just pick whatever handedness or style of spin you're going with. Clockwise spin, right side. Counterclockwise left. We're going clockwise, backhand zone. There we are. Might have been a pole job. Easy tap in. Almost sitting on the rubber mat. Might have hit the pole. Couldn't hear because it's so noise polluted in this area. Hopefully the mic's blocking it out for you guys so you get some decent audio. 13 at Zilker is one of the harder birdies to get. 325 feet downhill. One center tree forcing you to pick a side left or right. And then just a wall of trees as you approach the basket about 60 short. I like going big high spike hyzer. Kobe Bryant here. These power lines are kind of in the way, but we'll try to navigate them. Maybe we'll split the gap on them. No gap splitting needed. That one might be a little deep, but spike down with a clean putt in line with the basket. Left to right wind on this shallow circle 2 putt. Left to right headwind, I should say. Oh man, I thought the wind would just keep me up there, but circled the camera lady. She got my back? Oh, rewind. Right here, let's see if I got it. Oh God, you gotta catch it first, bud. Easy par. Hole 14 plays slightly back up the hill that we just threw down. 264. You got some low-hanging branches on the left, not allowing you to play a wide shot over there. Got to play this one pretty straight and narrow. I'm going to go power shot with this color shift zone. Oh, A little too stable. I'm gonna have a low ceiling putt over there. It's opened up over the years, but it's still tough. There's been times in the past where this was a near unmakeable putt, but it's thinned out on this branch here. See if I can just crest over the top of it. Oh, hit him with the trick putt. Let's go. A little too in line with the basket on my tee shot there. I needed to aim at the big oak on the right, have it fade in, but when you're steady on the green, you can make up for missed strokes off the tee. Hole 15 is another one of the more challenging shot shapes out here at Zilker, an all par 3 track, if you couldn't tell by now. 309 feet, mandatory left of this oak on the right out there, keeping you away from the last green that we played. This one shapes for a big left to right moving shot, whether it's a right hand forehand, quick flipping roller, or just a beautiful turnover. Lefties, you're welcome on this one. You got a solid look here. Going Kobe Bryant, cloud breaker. Try to play for the big skip. Come on, go in the basket. Oh, a little too much juice on that one, I guess. Kobe's quick, still learning them. Caught this last tree here, had a little too much juice out of the hand, but otherwise solid shot. All right, I gotta remember, if I want any hyzer out of the hand with the steady, I gotta hit it pretty quick. If I wanna be soft, I probably need to come out with hyzer, or with a flat release. It does have a decent bit of integrity and finish on it. Hole 16 has very much the opposite bend to it than hole 15. From the right to the left, one tree in the center to really make you pick a side. As a right-hand player, are you playing a straight shot on the inside of that tree? Are you playing the low skipping hyzer on the outside? Or are you taking my recommended route? Put the spike hyzer, try to stab this one into the ground or into the basket. Going Captain's Raptor here, 291 feet, helping wind off the right shoulder. I feel pretty good about this one. Oh my God, you got me howling to the moon because that was so freaking close. I'm a little traumatized every time my disc goes into the chains right now. It'll take me a couple days of no spit outs to shake that. It always feels so sad to step up to hole 17 and not have the old magnificent 200-year-old drooping oak between us and the basket, forcing you to play a big forehand or just try to get lucky underneath it unless you have the power to play the spike hyzer. Now they have a couple saplings planted in the way. Over time, those will help shape this hole. Right now, it's just a straight shot. 318, but to honor the old hole, I'm still gonna imagine that tree in front of it, and I'm going back to the spike hyzer play that I've always thrown here. This one's so simple, it's like Kobe Bryant at the free throw line. So simple that I forgot that the wind is coming from the north and it's gonna smash my disc down just because it feels like a tailwind. It could be tricking you. Played myself. Tried to play it cute. Instead, just played myself. Doesn't matter though, you know. When you got the steady in hand and you get your discs from onlythebestdiscs.com, that's OTBDiscs.com, using code Connor for free shipping, you are gonna find yourself jamming circle 2 putts. And you probably should speaking of jamming, you should probably listen to Jamming with the Best, some of your favorite players and personalities, amazing stories, nice casual setting. Go over to Spotify or your favorite place to find that kind of stuff. Truly one of the best views in Austin disc golf, if you like city skylines, that is. Right here, tee box looking back of hole 18, Zilker Park, Austin Staple, one of the best courses around just because it's so beginner friendly, but still challenging enough that an advanced player can enjoy themselves and use it as a tool to get better and focus on the short game.
And in the rain.
And like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, it plays better in the rain than almost any course. Do not go play Muddy Moor Sea Right. Circle Slick is okay if you're got the nimble feet on the rocky portion. Roy G also plays well in the rain, so who knows? Maybe that one will be up next if it stays wet like this. The final hole here at Zilker Park is a par 3. Redundant, I know. 307 feet. Gently downhill. As a right-hand backhand, not much in your way except for this cluster of trees that's wide of the line that you need to be on. The one tree just short right of the basket is a great aim point to swing your hyzer in on. One time we were playing the big money mini out here, and I needed 13 down to win. I was at 11 down on this tee box. Got the skip, the luckiest skip ace ever, rode the rail, jumped up off the little knob into the basket, and yeah, I walked away with some extra cash. See if we can replicate it here with the cap wrap. Could throw a lot of discs on this hole, but with the skip that the 9-speed provides, it keeps ace on the table, and we like that. That one has a chance. If it can beat that tree trunk and skip. Oh, just long of it, you guys. I needed the rail ride and jump. That's the part that I forgot. Maybe next time. One last chance at birdie. Solid in the right side chains. Cap wrap quickly becoming one of my favorites out of the stash I got sent by OTB Discs. That was it for day 7. One of the best courses in Austin, like I said, not only for advanced players, but for beginners and brand new players alike. Hope to see you guys out on the course somewhere this winter. I'm offering lessons at a $75 for a half-hour rate, $120 for an hour, where we focus on mechanics in the field and get a lot of repetition in. Or if you want to play a round with me, $250 for an entire round, up to 4 other players, including yourself and, yeah, including yourself, 4 other players and me. Will be a quick 5, so don't worry. Or you can do $180 for 9 holes. Promise you guys, it'll be worth it. You'll learn a lot. If not, then I have these faiths you can get to support me, or you can go to OTB Discs, use my code, let them know Connor sent you.